Hi friends, Simit here from InformedTrades.com. In this video, I want to talk a little bit about how to buy gold. I want to share my personal strategy for accumulating gold. We've obviously talked a lot about gold on Informed Trades. In this video, I really would like to talk about the mechanics of actually acquiring and buying it. A whole bunch of options out there. I wanted to share what I do, which we hadn't really discussed in video format before on Informed Trades. So first, personally, my core focus, at least initially, or what I think is the first step that people would benefit from doing, is acquiring some physical in your actual possession that you can actually touch in your home, near your home, somewhere that you're in charge of the security for it. There are several types of coins. I think for most people it makes sense to, when you're acquiring physical coins or physical gold, to actually focus on coins. If you're, you got a lot of money and a 400-ounce, LBMA certified bar is something you can afford pretty easily, then that might be an option. For the rest of us, I think coins are the way to go. We've talked. There's a bunch of there's a whole dealer matrix list below this, which features dealers that we've talked about on Informed Trades, dealers that other members use. A lot of people like to go locally, which obviously makes a lot of sense. If that's something you're comfortable with, if you can find a good dealer locally, you can definitely do that. Personally, I get mine online. I use a company called APMEX.com, APMEX. You may have heard of them if you've purchased gold online before, one of the larger ones. I found pretty good prices there. The advantages on the internet buying is it can be tax-free, at least for the time being. That's in the process of changing. But there are basically three types of coins that I focus on getting, and I'll show them to you here. This one is the Canadian maple leaf, which is probably what I focus the most on. I don't know how clearly you can make that out. Probably not too clearly. It's got a picture of Queen Elizabeth on it, Canadian maple leaf. And when I get it, I really don't. It's important to keep it in good condition for it to preserve its value. It will lose purchasing power if, there you can see a little better. There we go. It will lose purchasing power if the coin is banged up. So that's why I just keep it in the casing that it comes in. The other one is a Krugerrand. Here is a 1/10 ounce Kruggerrand. This one I personally just don't like as much. I don't think it looks as good, but it is very commonly accepted, which is what's important. Let's see if you can make it out there. And when you get it from, or if you get it from AppMax like I did, it'll come in a container like this, in a box, but once you open up the box, you get something like this. For the 1/10 ounce Kruggerrands, this is a 1/4 ounce Canadian maple leaf that I had shown before, and the Canadian maple leaf I think is the coin that at least it's the one I trust the most. I've read somewhere, I'm not 100% sure if this is true or not, but I've read it's got the highest purity of gold. But the other thing with the coins, you want things that are readily acceptable. So Canadian maple leaf's readily acceptable. Krugerrand is widely known, and here's the American Gold Eagle, which is another one that's very readily acceptable. There, you can see it right there. This is a 1/4 ounce coin. So I think those three, the American Eagle, Canadian Maple Leaf, and the Krugerrand, South Africa, those are the three that I believe are widely recognized, very affordable, quality, legitimate coins. And the purpose of having these coins is it can actually serve as money in a true crisis scenario. So this is like your ultimate insurance policy for a madness breaks loose. And also in terms of the doomsday scenarios, or how bad is it going to get, a lot of it is, if it does get bad, or one viewpoint, and I kind of give credence to this viewpoint, is that if it does get really bad, it's not going to be something that lasts for like 20 years. It's going to be a breakdown in the banking system that causes banks to shut down or something for a month or 2 or 3, where it may become important to use this to actually buy stuff, to buy food, or to get great deals. A lot of people will be desperate, they'll be selling stuff, and if you can give them gold, that you may be able to purchase something of value. And we've seen similar things like that in Cyprus and Greece, where once there's a banking shutdown, there's really affects what people can do, how businesses can operate, how capital can flow, what deliveries are going to be made, supply shortages, that type of thing. Will the same type of thing happen in the United States? I think it's a little bit more difficult here just because the U.S. is so much more of a robust economy. That's not to say I don't think it can happen or that I don't think it's prudent to be prepared for. Obviously, I live in the United States. I'm taking precautions that I think are advantageous. Here's a coin from AppMex. You can also get this. The companies themselves actually make coins in little bars, and I have some of those. I don't think they're as worthwhile to get. I got them. Those are some of the first things I got. In hindsight, I probably would have just stuck with the coins, but it's still, when it comes time to sell it, I think you'll still be able to get something worthwhile for it. I don't think the difference will be too huge. Okay, so that's having some that you are directly in control of, that you can touch, that you can access for your doomsday scenarios. So personally, I think that's step one. Now, step two, if you have a large amount of capital, or if you want to invest a larger portion, is some type of something that's somewhat digital or something remote. Meaning, when I say digital, I'll clarify. That could mean shares in an ETF. There's PHYS, the Sprott Gold ETF. There's GLD, which is one of the largest stores of gold in the world. There's also vault storage services like Bullion Vault and Gold Money. Bullion Vault is what I personally use. And the difference between a lot of the vault storage services and ETFs is that vault services are allocated, which means the gold is actually in your name. When it's unallocated, it's just your pool of investors, and the whole pool owns the big chunk of gold. That can result in some ownership issues if the fund fails, or it's just the ownership of it is a little more ambiguous, which is it can create some problems. Similar, sort of like the problems we saw with MF Global. So that is why the whole pool account just collapses and everyone has to stand in line and wait to get their money back. So that is why I favor allocated gold storage services. Bullion Vault is the one I personally use. We have links to some of their members or some of their people on their team and discussing their services. I've interviewed them before. We also have some other ones. Again, check out that list of dealers featured below. And I think that's sort of the way I view it. So you have some coins in your physical possession, and then just like with a bank account, you have a bunch in a vault if you want to store it there, or if you really want to acquire quite a significant amount. These vaults are insured, and they're going to have. They can also have much lower transaction costs, which is also something I really like about Bullion Vault. These coins, especially if you're buying a 10th ounce coin or a quarter-ounce coin, the premium on that's going to be a little significant. Right now gold is trading at like $14.50. A quarter-ounce coin is still going to be close to $500. So that's like a little bit of a, if you scale that up to a full ounce, that's still like $2,000 for an ounce coin. It'll be a little less than, maybe like $1,900. So there's a significant premium there, which is worth it in a lot of ways. But if you're on a tight budget and you just want to accumulate some, there's a lot of them can offer cheaper ways of doing so, where you can put a little bit each month, get a gram at a time, store in a vault, $50, $100, something like that. And also in that dealer list below, there are a number of services. Obviously, if you are accumulating, if you can drop $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 a time comfortably, you can get some better deals. So that's definitely something to consider, and check out that dealer list below. You'll see there's some better deals available for those who are purchasing in bulk. That's about it. Just wanted to share what I'm doing and some of my thoughts on this. I really think it's an interesting time in the gold market. We'll have some more videos discussing what may be going on, or at least some viewpoints to consider. As always, if you have anything you want to add, any questions, join us at InformedTrades.com. Thanks and best of luck in your